This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Richard, let's start with Isaac Tesla, who committed to Arkansas earlier this week. What can you tell us about Arkansas's latest transfer portal commitment?
Well, I tend to think that most fans that have seen film of him can see why so many schools jumped on him once he got into the portal. I mean, he's 6'4", 210 pounds, very good speed, 41-inch vertical, very athletic. A guy that played on a team, a high school team with 22 players. He was a quarterback, so he didn't play any receiver. He just played quarterback, and really didn't have any film at all, obviously, as a receiver. So he had to go to Hillsdale College in Michigan, the local school, and he kind of learned the trade of how to play receiver. Then obviously had a very good freshman year. And then this past year, he was the player of the year in the conference, and just had just impressive numbers. But his film just stands out as far as just his speed, his size, and just his ability to go get the ball. And that's something that obviously you're looking for, on the SEC level. And then you just throw in that size, and I mean, he's just an idea receiver. And a guy that a lot of schools wanted, and Arkansas was able to get him.
Arkansas's plucked 8 guys out of the transfer portal to this point. Richard, from what you've seen them get, who else are you intrigued by in this upcoming transfer portal class?
Well, I think they really helped themselves as an edge rusher with John Morgan III. I really think that he's a guy that is going to come in and play immediately and provide some pressure from on the outside. Obviously Jacoby Criswell, who we talked about numerous times, and, obviously KJ's the guy to beat, but I guarantee he's not coming in just thinking, well, KJ's the guy and I'm just going to sit the bench and, be the backup. He's going to have the mentality that he's going to try to take the job. So I think it's going to help KJ get better. It's going to put pressure on him to maximize every day of, film study and practice and everything. And then obviously Andrew Armstrong is another big receiver, like 6'5", 6'6", about 200 pounds. Another guy that played Division II football, but excelled and a lot of schools wanted. So I think they really helped themselves in a lot of positions. And then Walcott, I'll just say Al Walcott. I don't know how to say his first name. But the Baylor safety, he was very productive. Had over 80 tackles at the safety position. Very physical, 6'2", 219 pounds, and he is that listed. He is about that size. He's a bigger guy. And also another thing that really impresses me about Walcott is just him as a person. It's very unusual for a transfer guy to come in and be able to become a leader, but I think he has the capability of doing that. He's that type of guy.
Tell us more about the guy from Pitt, John Morgan, edge rusher. I know that Charlie Partridge is on that Pitt staff. They had a lot of sacks this year. What could we expect out of John Morgan?
He's another guy that could potentially be a leader because he's a very mature guy who obviously has been in the college game for a while, and so he knows the ins and outs of the defensive end position, but very, very productive. I think almost 1/3 of I totaled up as tackles for losses and sacks. Almost 1/3 of his tackles were tackles for loss or sacks in his career at Pitt. That's basically one in every three tackles is one for a tackle for a loss. So that right there tells you that he's very productive in getting to the quarterback and also just getting into the backfield, being disruptive. And I think that's the key right there. Sometimes Arkansas wasn't able to be that disruptive, on the defensive line, and that right there pays dividends, not only with the quarterback being pressured and possibly throwing a bad pass and being picked off, but also, putting teams behind the sticks.
Yeah. Have you run the math? Where are we at numbers wise, and what do you think Coach will hold over for the post spring practice period?
Okay, I haven't run the numbers lately. I did about a week or so ago. I think they have about 10 or 11 more spots to go. I'm not looking at my notes right now, but I think it's a round number that they're probably looking at as far as still available. But obviously, I think they're not done for the midterm guys. And then obviously you got the window in the spring that they can bring guys in too. And then Arkansas has done very well with springtime transfer guys. So I know fans want everything right now, but may not get it till the spring. But the last I looked, I think around 10 or 11.
Richard Davenport, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, with us every Thursday. Richard, this question comes from Tucker in Sherwood. Do you have any idea who's going to fill that 10th open football position, if it's going to be an offensive, defensive guy?
It could be either. It really could, because they're still recruiting. I expect some guys to come in this weekend. They obviously school starts on the 17th, but they can enroll guys until the 20th. So there's still a little bit of a window after the 17th, the first day of classes, that they can have kids. So they could potentially have visitors next week during the week. So that could enroll immediately. So right now I'm expecting a few guys this weekend, and there could potentially be some guys coming in next week.
I know we've asked all football questions this morning, but I do want to ask you about a certain official visit. Ian Jackson in the house last night. Kid's from New York, 5-star player. Looked like he had a good time. Can you tell us anything about the 5-star visiting possible prospect for Arkansas basketball?
No, not yet. He'll leave later today, and I plan to have an update then. But everything I've heard has been positive. I know that he was able to have lunch with the team yesterday. He met with the chancellor. I was able to tour the campus, and you probably saw some pictures of him by the Razorbacks by the stadium. That was during the tour of the campus. But just the usual 48-hour or 2-day. 2.5 day official visit. He's just getting to know the program a little bit more in depth, and obviously seeing around central, around the Fayetteville area, and obviously the campus. But as in depth as they go on the official visits, he's going to have a really good idea about what to expect if he becomes a Razorback.
The number 2 national player in the country, Tommy. That's and he's he's from the Bronx, man. So there's a lot of basketball been played out there.
And he also has a teammate, a 4-star teammate that's just recently narrowed his list down to in Arkansas as one of the 5 schools. I expect him to visit. I've talked to him a few times, Elijah Moore. And he's a guy to keep an eye on, also to maybe make it down to Fayetteville at some point.
Oh, man, what'd you see last night? We just come in wallowing in the misery of last night. What was your thoughts on the game?
Well, like everybody else, obviously Arkansas is kind of limited with shooting ability, and you're going to continue to see teams pack it in. Near the paint, and just invite you to take those shots. And until you start hitting them, they're not going to come out and respect your outside shooting ability. So it's going to be a challenge. But the one thing that we've seen, and we've seen with Coach Muss, they've struggled a little bit, maybe the first part of January in the past. But in the obviously in February and March they get going again. So I know there may be a little frustration right now, but I still believe that somehow, some way they'll get going and they'll play a little better. and who knows, maybe if Nick comes back, that obviously will help. But Coach Muss, he knows what he's doing, and I have a lot of confidence that things will get better. It's just obviously there's just some areas that they're lacking, and right now, I mean, there's nothing you can really do other than try to make some adjustments and hopefully get some guys that can hit the outside shot maybe a little bit more down the stretch, and maybe spend a little bit more time shooting the ball in practice.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. BetOnline, where the game starts.